When we think of wedges, a lot of you will be thinking straight away the Vokey wedges. And if we think about golf ball, everyone's mind goes to a Pro V1. But today we have two pretenders, but how do they stand up? And guys, you join me on another Next 100 on this fine Sunday afternoon. And we're talking obviously about the Skyforger wedges and the Seed SD X1 golf ball, which is the golf ball I'm using at the moment, because they have partnered with us in this series on the Next 100, traveling around and playing more affordable golf courses with more affordable clubs and a more affordable golf ball, but still premium products. So for example, the Skyforger wedges coming in around about £99, as you'll see on screen. Golf ball working out around about £29 a dozen if you buy one, cheaper if you buy in bulk. But the big question from here is, can it perform as good as a Vokey? Can it perform as good as a Pro V1? We've got the Golf Joy launch monitor out here today, the Spiker 3, to put it through its paces from 100 yards first. Straight away there, good contact, good launch. That has just come up onto the front edge of the green, carried 91 yards and had 9,000 spin on there. So if we put that into context, you'll see on screen tour averages from 100 yards are around about 10,000 revs. So straight away there, 1,000 down, but it's next to the flight. It's given me a chance. It was a good launch. It felt a good contact. But how's that going to perform against, as we know, a Vokey wedge that we all think of when somebody says, what wedges have you got? What wedges have you looked at? Or just, what wedges have you heard of? Often a Vokey is the one that comes to mind straight away. And we have today a Vokey wedge works. You'll see on screen coming in at £209. So this can be over £100 more than the Skyforger wedge. The golf ball is around about, I've found a deal online, £39 for a dozen. So again, that might be only £10 more than the Seed, but straight away there, a little bit more expensive. But how will it do from this distance? So I've got two 56 degree wedges here, same swing. An interesting launch, a little bit higher there with the ball. 93 carry and 8,864. So with a very similar strike, the ball's actually popped up a little bit more off this Vokey wedge works, and it's not spun as much. So can it perform? So far so good. Let's get two more, hit two more into the green as the gentleman walk across at the front of that green, and let's see. So let's come in again straight away with that Vokey. So yes, it carried a little bit further, 2 yards, but spun less. Again, a higher launch than we saw from the Seed. Similar landing point, 91 yards, 8,700 on the green, and giving ourselves a chance. But how will the Takomo compare? Straight away looking down, a little bit obviously different looks, £100 difference. We're not going to see maybe as sleeker edges with this Skyforger wedge. But again, when we think about Takomo, we think about price. Are you expecting something as premium, something as double price? Again, same as your Takomo 101s, 101Ts. Are you expecting them to be as premium as the TaylorMade P790s for £300, £400, £500 cheaper? Getting those comments below. Certainly a more rounder edge on the front of this wedge, but it has performed over the series. Right, higher launch there. All similar strikes there. That's landed on the green. Carried 98, 8,666 spin. So very interesting there. A very similar number. Actually 8,649 to be precise. So interesting numbers there. Competing just as good. So Seed and the Pro V1 neck and neck, and the same from the Vokey and Skyforger 001. But let's move in a little bit closer and test them again. Now this is a yardage that often people struggle with, so it's that awkward distance where do you hit the full 60 or do you try and flight something in? And if you want to see how you can play these shots better, guys, head over to our Get Good at Golf channel. because we've got a few videos around how to use a bit of a cheat code to pitch a little bit better, hit it a little bit closer, and all in all, lower your scores. But we're going to start Skyforger again. We're going to start with the seed. Let's see what the numbers will say. So again, nice launch. A little bit of spin there. 64 yards carry, 5,000 spins. So just under 5,000. So let's bring in another one now. Let's go straight away again. Let's get an average. So a little bit longer than I wanted. So I'm going to try and get that down to 55, which will mean just landing a little bit short of the green. Okay, interesting. So 55 yards carry there, 4,500 spin, and you can see that running through the green. So straight away, it did pop up a little bit from this distance. And tour average from here, the amount of spin that tour players are generating from this distance is 6,000. So again, very consistent, being 1,000 or 1,500 down. But what will the Pro V1 do? Pro V1 in now. Let's see if I can get similar distances. Right, straight away there, launched a lot lower, 52 carry, 7,600 spin. So yes, a terrible bounce there short of the green, but it's round about the number I was trying to play. But look at that spin, way above the Takomo. So Takomo and seed matched up very nicely back at that 80-yard shot, but here we're nearly 3,000 revs down, so that'll produce very different results. The big question is, get in the comments below, guys. Obviously, it all depends on strike here. So I delivered that club well, that's got a lot more spin on it, but are you that consistent? And if you're trying to save some money and get something that still performs nearly as good, then those Takomo Skyforger wedges are going to save you £100 per wedge, which is a lot when you're buying a full set. Again, a lower launch there. That's gone a little bit further. I have to say that that was a little bit clean, to say the least. But still there, low on the face, results the same as one of the seeds and one of the Takomo wedges. 66 carry, but 6,000 spin. So, very interesting how that compares to that Takomo. But obviously, these are shots that we do get a lot, but there's a lot of those tricky shots around the edge of the green. And how do they do? So let's put them to the test now, and let's just have a nice standard chipping challenge. So we're going to go to the red flag first. Takomo and seed up first. Land it short, let it release. And I'm going to go seed again. I'm going to go to the yellow. Let's see. A little bit more loft there. Greens have been fertilised, as you can see. Two pretty good shots there, nice and easy to control. Let's bring in the final one here, and let's go to the white flag. So popped up on me a little bit there, and that's a poor strike, but a fantastic result. And this is where, yes, we don't have more options with the Takomo wedges. So we have a 12-degree bounce. We don't have any other options. We don't have any different grinds. We know when it comes to Evoke, the long list of different bounces, different grinds that you can potentially get depending where you play. But you see straight away there, off a good lie, we've got good results. But how can I do with Evoke? So certainly launches lower, a little bit out to the right. Again, I would take that chip all day long, but that is 1-0 very quickly to the Takomo. So it's going to be a tough order to beat. Again, launching lower, an unfortunate bounce there again. But you can see straight away, Pro V1 and Evoke comes out a little bit lower. But what we can see is it is a little bit more consistent. But straight away, because I've been using the Skyforgers for so long, I've got consistency, and I'm 2-0 up, and it's already a victory for the Skyforger wedges around the greens. So guys, get in those comments below. Have you got the Skyforgers? How have you got on with them? And would you be purchasing them over a Vokey wedge? We finally got one for a Vokey there, but that's an honest review, guys, of all these pretenders able to compete. Are the Seed golf balls and Takomo wedges able to do what you can with a Vokey wedge and a Pro V1? They certainly can compete. We know we might get a little bit better performance with the Vokey and the Pro V1 on some shots, but think about it for yourself. For £100 save and a £10 save on the golf ball, what would you choose?